start again. It's a redskin.
Hey guys, welcome back. So when we left off last, I had basically installed everything down at the bottom of the car. Axles, exhaust, shift linkage, finished connecting up the engine with all the mounts. And this morning, I don't know, I'm just a little discouraged. I mean, I'll get over it because, I'm not going to stop now. Basically, what happened was I just, well, as you well may know, I've been looking for the spoon calipers now for a while, and I've ordered them before, and they didn't have them in stock, and a couple of you mentioned somebody else that might have had them, and they ran in. If you know anything about the spoon calipers, they're not cheap. And on the high end, they run about $1,800 to $1,900 just for the calipers. So that's one of the most expensive things that I would have needed to purchase that I don't have. And so after looking around, I found another company that supposedly had them. And I messaged them, asked them if they had that particular style in stock. They assured me that they did, so I placed the order. And 2 days passed, and of course, same thing. They told me they didn't have them. They couldn't get them or something like that. They wouldn't be able to get them to the middle of, or the end of July or something like that. So I just told them to give me my money back, and I started looking around again. I have to figure out if I'm going to make my own harness for the chassis, and instead of ordering it. And I just pulled this out of all the stuff that I have packed away. Now this is the main chassis harness. This back area back here is for the taillights. We got the taillights, the rear defrosters. Now a lot of these things I'm not going to actually use. The rear defrosters are not going to be hooked up. Definitely need taillights, turn signals, stoplights. There's main ground points that I got to extend because a lot of them were attached to the hatch itself, but now that I changed it to a carbon Kevlar, I got to extend them out and attach them to the body. I got the main connection, the fuel pump, and I'm not sure where these go, but these go up towards the front, and a lot of these things, like I say, I'm not going to use, like the map light or overhead light. Runs up to the front, hooks up to the main, the ECU, and a lot of these I got to figure out. Like up front, I know that's right, like right here, that's for the headlight harness. I'm not sure if it's left or right. And then I have grounds, of course, more connections. All I got to really do basically is get some heat shrink tubing and like the mesh loom, and then basically just clean up the entire harness, and then clean up all the connections and stuff like that. But everything is here basically, and if I ordered it online, it would be about $1,000. If I make it myself, I could probably save. It'd probably be about maybe $100 in materials. So I think I'm going to go with making my own harness. And I just realized, it kind of just hit me, I still got a lot to do, man. Yeah, I still got a lot to do. I still got, brake lines and fuel lines. I mean, the fuel line's not too bad because there's only the main line and the return line, and that all just is hooked up to the fuel rail. But the brake lines is going to be something else because I got to also hook up a staging brake somewhere around there. And, front, left and right wheel, left and right rear. Somewhere in between, I got to hook up a T-fitting along with the prop valve around there somewhere. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take this with me, I think. Figure out how much loom I'm going to need, what size of loom I'm going to need, and as well as the shrink wrap or shrink tubing. Welcome back, another day. Yesterday, I know I was talking the other day about the glass, and I was going to clean it up, and I had already ordered the moldings and stuff like that, but I decided I came across this guy's Facebook page, and he had some really nice parts on there. The one that I saw, he had a pair of blue Recaro seats, and a friend of mine on Facebook as well had liked that picture, so I went and I checked out this guy's Facebook page, and basically he sells a lot of imported JDM parts from Japan. He's located supposedly in the Dominican Republic, and so I messaged him, asked him if he had a full set of bronze JDM glass, and he sent me pictures. He had the windshield, he had the door glasses, quarter glasses, everything. And so I was like, well, that's exactly what I need. I was like, what are you going to sell them for? And he said $850. And I was like, wow, $850? That's a pretty good price. So I was like, all right, I need them shipped to the United States. So he said, oh, it'll be another $200. So like $1,000. And then I started looking through his Facebook page even more of all the stuff he had for sale. He had a JDM console, everything. He had everything at the center, the stuff that I'm looking for. And I said, how much is that? And he's like, $160. And I was like, wow. I was like, okay, so for, $1,160 plus shipping or whatever, a little bit more shipping, I can have all this stuff that I need. And so I was like, all right, I want it. I was like, do you take PayPal? How do I pay for this? And he's like, I only take MoneyGram or Western Union. And I was like, all right, so I don't know if most of you know this already, but if you send somebody money through Western Union or MoneyGram, there is no way that you're going to, if you get scammed, there's no way you're going to get your money back. They basically take the money and run. That's it. With PayPal, basically you pay for the stuff. If you don't get it, PayPal opens up a case. You might get your money back. Most likely you do. At least through like eBay and stuff like that, I've gotten my money back. So I emailed, I made a post on Facebook asking if anybody had ever bought anything from this guy. And most guys, and there was one guy that said that he had ordered something from him and got scammed. So I was like, all right, not going to order it. So yeah, that's the moral of the story. If the deal is too good to be true, most likely it is not legit. So, but yeah, here's the, like I say, I have the moldings coming in for this glass. I haven't cleaned them up yet. Yesterday I did wash the car. It was getting pretty filthy outside. So I washed the inside and wiped it all down, gotten rid of all those metal shavings that were starting to rust up. Because when I drilled some of the holes for the roll cage, there was metal shavings, and as it rained and the condensation, it started to rust on the surface. So I was like, I better clean that stuff up. So that's what I did. I just went ahead and used a hose and kind of flooded the whole thing and pushed everything towards the front, and then wiped everything down. And now that it's dry, I'm going to go ahead and get the vacuum, the wet dry vac, and vacuum up all the little junk like this. You might see it there, but yeah. But the outside's nice and clean. It did come up some of the stuff that I do need to fix, like that right there, and let's see, on the other side there was a couple other little spots right here, which is no biggie. I'll just take some sandpaper and knock it down, lay it flat, and then polish the whole thing. There is, you can tell there's, you know, a little bit of orange peel on the paint, so I need to just give it a quick sanding on the main panels and then just buff it out. So that's one of my goals. But yeah, it's just a little discouraging trying to get all the parts that I really want. And then and yesterday as well, I stopped at a glass company and asked them about a windshield, and they said that they could get it. It takes about a week. And so I gave them all my information, and they never called me back. So yeah. Alright, so after yesterday's downpour, I came in and had to soak up all the water that was in here, which actually cleaned it up a little bit more. And you know, doesn't that always happen after you wash your car? It just decides to rain. But yeah, it's all cleaned up. I went ahead and put that steering wheel on, just to see how it was oriented, and yeah, I put it on upside down, so I'm gonna have to take it apart and figure out, you know, basically I just got to take off those splines and then move it around again, flip it over 180 degrees, and then I decided to go ahead and clean these guys up, the quarter glasses, and they look fine. I thought they were going to be just completely pitted and scratched, and yeah, they actually look really good. I still have to do this one, and you know, basically just means you know, spraying some glass cleaner on it and then scraping it up with a razor blade. This side here had some window tint on it, so they still had some of the glue, and of course you got to take off the old urethane that's stuck on there. I haven't done this one yet, like I say, but see how this one still has all the urethane on there. So I just got to scrape all that off and then scrape these guys. I did find the moldings for them. They're coming from Japan, and I ordered them last week, so I figure probably be another 2 weeks before I even see them. So, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use these quarter glasses, and I might be able to even clean up these door glasses and start assembling the interior or the inside of the door, because the only thing that I do need is this sub-molding that goes on the outside here, and I ordered that from Japan as well, and that should be hopefully in next week. So, but I don't think you really need that sub-molding to put the glass in. You know, the glass actually slides in here, so I could put that glass in and kind of hopefully keep a little bit of the water out when I get these installed, and then hopefully sometime get this windshield in. I'm not sure what's going on here. This is crazy. It just seems like I can't get my hands on one, without driving 2 or 3 hours to either pick one up or drag the car along to go get it installed. Another thing I gotta do is find the moldings that go in here and here, so I can seal all these holes up, because the water basically drains inside there and then drops inside. So that will be it for that. I do have these to hold the struts in, but I still got to order the struts. So. Well, I got everything in. Windows are in, or at least the door glasses are in. And they actually ended up being pretty clean. I don't see a lot of, there's like some pitting, but not really bad. So I can live with that. And put on the steering wheel. I broke one of the bits that inside here are these little screws, and I had to turn the whole thing around to line it up, and the bit broke off inside the screw, so I had to grind it off and redo that. And I started kind of assembling the inside, and to tell you the truth, I've pretty much forgot how it all goes, so I'm gonna have to kind of get online and see how that's gonna, how it all goes back together. And the wind is starting to pick up, and you can see over there that the monsoon rains are about to come in again, and that was kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to put this this glass in, to kind of stop the water from getting in there. But without these and the windshield, of course it's going to get in there, so I'm going to go ahead and pull off that steering wheel and put all these. How many of you have boxes of bolts and screws like this? I can pretty much assure that the majority of you do, because I just dumped them all out and was looking for all the nicer ones to replace, to put in all the hardware or the regulator for the windows and stuff like that. You know, I got the really nice shiny ones instead of the rusted ones. And these are going to wait here until I can get the moldings. But like I say, I just ordered them from Japan. So yeah, I think that's all I'm going to be able to do for today. I need to find all of the parts that go on the inside here to assemble the interior. I know there's some parts missing, like down in here there's some bracing, and down on that side over there some more bracing. There's a couple of bolts that go inside here. I got to get a couple of longer bolts, like I was saying the other day, for the clutch pedal, and figure out how that goes and this goes. And once I get the windshield, one of these days I can put the dashboard in. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and put all these tools and bolts and stuff away before it starts raining. And I think that's it for today. One thing is, some of you guys that are commenting on the videos, I'm not getting notifications, so I have to go back manually and look through the videos, and if I see a comment, I'll respond to it. But I'm not trying to ignore you guys, and shout out to all you guys that are commenting on the videos and sharing and liking. I just want to make this channel grow a little bit bigger. I'm going to start doing some giveaways, hopefully in the future. And but if you can give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and share these videos with your buddies, and that'll help me out. So